It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Los Angeles Rams and the Dallas Cowboys. And it comes your way next on Madden NFL 24.
We are sandwiched between Fort Worth and Dallas, Texas, and Arlington at the luxurious AT&T Stadium. Today we've got an intriguing NFC matchup lined up here, as it'll be the Los Angeles Rams taking on the Dallas Cowboys.
Confidence to believe that they would win the game. That's who's going to come out of this one on top.
Will elect to not bring this one out, as our first drive will begin at the 25. So out come the Rams now for their first possession. Leading the charge at quarterback, the former Georgia Bulldog, Matthew Stafford.
I tell you what, when he is on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one that's capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm talent when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. A handoff as they run the counter play. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. And tip your cap to DeMarcus Lawrence. Nice play defensively.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
To throw on second down is Stafford. Short throw, it's Higbee. So the completion good for 7 there. And that'll bring up a third down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on third down.
Here's 3rd and 7. Now Stafford. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And this won't do it. He needed 6. He only got halfway there.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. Third down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Fair catch called for and made, but now we'll have to see about the penalty.
Personal foul, roughing the kicker, defense.
So not just running into the punter, but roughing the punter.
And I'm struggling with this one. You know, you're watching it, partner. Is it more the first rather than the latter? This is a tough one. Almost feels like he felt like he had to call it on that play.
Let's go, man. Let's go.
Now it's 1st and 10 after a costly penalty there on 4th down. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he'll follow his blockers there all the way down to the 23-yard line. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight-ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid gain.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he'll get about 5 here as he'll take this down inside the 20-yard line.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Here's a 2nd and 5. One back in the backfield. He'll get the carry. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. Well, now hang on here because he appears to be shaken up. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. This will be play number 9 coming up on this relatively long opening drive as they look to convert on 3rd down. A shotgun snap for Stafford. And he's got it. That's Cup for a Ram touchdown. A 14-yard touchdown. And the Rams will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. They got to love that. 9-play drive results in 6 points.
That means they're doing the dictating. That means that they've described how the game's going to go. They're playing at their tempo, at their pace. If you're on the other side of
his offense sets up shop.
And how about the toughness of Dak Prescott? We see it all the time on the field. And remember when he had that serious ankle injury, would he return to form? Boy, did he ever. And he was better than ever, and that's great for the NFL. Terrific resilience, playing at a high level, capable of winning a championship with his arm and his legs.
So Prescott of the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. They'll start the drive with Elliott. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive, 1st down. When he runs, he seems to do a nice job of knowing when to be patient and find the hole, and then when the hole is there, he goes quickly.
You're exactly right. He knows how to just take off, but you know what else? Brings a little thump with him, doesn't he?
He does.
He packs the boom at the end of the run and finishes it going forward. That's what you want to see out of your backs.
And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Ram territory. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. Absolutely no trouble moving the ball on the ground on the first 2 plays from scrimmage.
Absolutely. You know what I really like? Same guy carrying the ball in both plays, and what drives me crazy is when a back has a nice run, he taps his helmet to go out of the game. I would want the ball again and again and again because you've established really nice momentum, and now you're seeing the field really well.
And a pretty good burst right there as he'll take this down to the 33. 14 yards, good for a Cowboy 1st down. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
A minimal gain as we tick down inside of a minute remaining in the opening quarter.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
And the Rams got him. They bring him down. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Start of the 2nd quarter, and it's the Cowboys in possession. So 3rd down, and defensively, the Rams have added 2 extra DBs. Prescott from the gun. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far, and never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's first and goal from just inside the 10. Now it's a bootleg with Prescott. And he's got his man in stride, complete. Touchdown, Cowboys. Peyton Hendershot from 8 yards out. And the Cowboys are an extra point away now from tying this ball game.
That's a good read of the situation by a quarterback. It's a sprint out to the flat, so after he fakes the handoff, he's going to give the impression this is going to be thrown to the back. Instead,
money at about the 21-yard line. Matthew Stafford, the rest of the L.A. offense heading back out there. He was 4-4 on that opening drive, including the touchdown pass, as he'll try again here to duplicate that success, starting with a first down. They'll fake it. Now Stafford. That's complete to his tight end, Higbee. And he's upended after a gain of 4 up to the 25-yard line.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
From the 25, here's 2nd and 6. Stafford. That's caught left side. It's Higbee, the tight end. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. Stafford to Higbee there. Rams first down.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
Meanwhile, puts it on the carpet. It's out. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. Obviously, you got to hold on to the football, but I've got to give credit to the defense there. Good job of knocking it free.
Yeah, because a lot of the time we just blame the offensive players for not taking care of it. How about the effort of the defensive players knowing that guys are going to, and if they're good, anticipate the contact coming and try and cover up the football. And they still find ways to knock it free.
And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right.
The previous play is under review.
Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. 2nd and short now following the fumble. Here's Stafford. And just not enough on the throw there. Down around his feet and incomplete. Maybe a little over-anxious in the pocket there. He just didn't look comfortable on that throw.
No, he didn't, because it wasn't his normal fluid delivery. And I think you might have had it right. Wasn't really confident with what he saw downfield and almost felt like he wanted to pull that one back.
On third down, they're going to run for it here. And he's going to be a yard short. A 2-yard pickup leads to 4th and 1.
I know they want to go for it here, and I know that their fans want them to go for it. But listen, I'm going to play head coach right here and look at the fans.
That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass, defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working, that means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run and vice versa. I would continue that, and when they finally draw a bead on you, maybe you mix it up a little bit, a little play action and throw the ball.
And will they maintain that balance? Time to find out. Second down and 3. They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. And he'll go right back to Lamb. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Prescott and Lamb hooking up for the Cowboy first.
Well, if you like the matchup and that connection works to start the drive, no reason to go away from it. Let that defense prove that they can stop you. And here, it's 2 throws and 2 first downs.
Now flags fly in, and one of the Cowboys looked like he got going a little early. They expect this from the visiting team when playing indoors, but not the home team.
They're supposed to get all the advantages, right? The home crowd's supposed to help them. They forgot where they were, perhaps.
Now Dak on the option left. And maybe the wrong read there as he's going to go down immediately. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
And not a lot of success to be found there.
Oh, you got that right, partner, because if you're trying to make guys miss about 10 yards or so downfield, that's a pretty good play. But if you've got to do it in your own backfield, I consider that a problem. That doesn't work too well.
A bit of a jump there, CD. He breaks the line, and that'll be 5 yards.
And you've got to stay more disciplined than that, Brandon. That's just a free gift to the offense.
After the penalty, it's Elliott.
And he'll get maybe a couple, if that, up to the 46.
Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Jonathan Coachman will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Rams 39. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
A nice chunk play from the tight end position, and it illustrates the cohesiveness that he and his quarterback have. Both saw the extra defender doubling him up, and they still combined for the completion and big gain.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Prescott now. And he will find his man on the end route, complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
Boy, everything clicking on this drive. He's 4 for 4 now, and that throw, maybe the best of the bunch. This offense is really humming, and they pick up another first down.
On 1st and 10, Prescott. This is caught. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. And they'll let the fullback try and take him home. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Cowboys. It's a 1-yard touchdown run. And the Cowboys will take the lead here in the final minute of the... While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. The Los Angeles offense set to begin their next drive.
And with just under a minute to go, they might try to think about mounting a drive here if they can and get in the end zone. Could potentially tie this game up.
The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now it's Stafford. And that's caught inside the 35. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Better than a 30-yard gain as we wind down towards 30 seconds left in the quarter.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Stafford. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it.
And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. The defense, they were swarming that time and ultimately got to him before he could get rid of the football and knocked it free.
And don't you feel just a little bit of sympathy for him back there, though? So much going on, so much swirling around. He's trying to find someone downfield. He's trying to move around to find an open target. Sometimes you forget the number one thing, take care of the football.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And with decent starting field position, there may be only a couple completions away from field goal range. Over the middle, and there's a diving catch. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Prescott now from the 50.
The short one there taken in by Ferguson.
Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. And he's going to miss this one. Wide to the left from distance. It's no good. So we have come to halftime here in Dallas with the Cowboys out in front. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, back to you two in just a bit. But first, welcome everyone to downtown Orlando and our EA Sports Halftime Report. The Cowboys were treated to a fine first half from number 4, quarterback Dak Prescott. He connected on a touchdown pass in that first half, and that's a big part of why his guys lead at the break.
On here now, what's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
And he'll slide to a halt here, still a little shy of the first down marker. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's second down.
I certainly like what he did right there, because he smartly wanted to avoid forcing anything downfield because nothing appeared to be open. Nice harmless slide there to avoid the big hit, and he gets a small gain on the play.
On second down, Elliott. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here, because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down.
On 3rd and 1, here's Prescott. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Just his second catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
On 2nd down, Elliott once more. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 60 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that 2nd down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
So from Rams territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. On the counter, Elliott. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
2nd and 9 from the 44. They'll try to throw now. Prescott. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Tenth carry now for Elliott. And he's able to work his way down inside the red zone to the 19-yard line. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive. Because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. From the red zone now, Prescott. And it's caught. Touchdown. Jake Ferguson from 19 yards away. And the Cowboys take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Circle that drive because that might be one to remember. Well executed to give them a little cushion.
Well, let's take it into the boxing ring. You talk about them commanding it, keeping the fight where they wanted to, whether it was in the center of the ring or putting them on the...
Well, the opposition laid down the challenge and opening drive touchdown here to start the 2nd half. And, Charles, now you feel like this group needs to get an answer because this all of a sudden is a 2-score game.
Yeah, you're right about that. What was a small, manageable spread to overcome? A little bit more daunting now. I think you're exactly right. Pressure is on because you don't want them getting the ball back with a chance to really extend this lead out.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the 2nd half. That's just his 2nd incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit, but a lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
Back to throw, Stafford. A quick throw there is incomplete.
A couple of quick incompletions, and now they're just one more away from getting off the field. They've got options now. Could they dial up a blitz here or just drop everyone into coverage to crowd the throwing lanes?
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Out of the gun, Stafford. That is caught. And he is going to have a Rams 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that's one of the better plays we've seen this offense put together so far. They haven't been able to get on track much at all. But listen, they're only down a couple of scores with the rest of this quarter and the entire 4th remaining. So, stranger things have happened.
Play action, Stafford. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Another attempt, another incompletion. And when I look at the scoreboard and where we are in this game, it comes to mind that they have to start getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Throw it to the guys that maybe can take a short pass and turn it into a long gain or make people miss downfield. They've got to have points. And the guys who can put the ball in the end zone, they're the ones that need to.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line. Certainly not his best throw that time, and not a good time to make it, Charles, when they were a nickel with 5 defensive backs on the field.
And that's exactly why you have those 5 DBs out there. You want extra speed on the field, guys who have ball skills and understand what the passing game can do, and gives them a chance to react and make a play on the football, and they take one of those away.
The Cowboys about set to take over on offense.
This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you feel like you can take the spirit away from another team. Their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they? Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Ball on the 39. Here's 2nd and 4.
They go to Elliott again. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And now the Rams have got it going the other way. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line.
So potentially a turning point here in the third quarter as that swings the door back open just a bit.
Yeah, they're still down 2 scores, but I do think we're at that point in the game where you're going to reach for the football whenever possible. You're going to hear the coaches scream from the sidelines, tackle him, second guy in, tackle the ball.
The Rams offense now making their way out to take over. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Yeah, boy, the strength on display there as he rumbles through tacklers for a gain of about 8.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball. But when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there.
That one, a first down pickup of 8.
We have played 3 quarters.
You are watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Back now in Arlington. It's the Rams trailing, but they do have the football as we start the 4th and final quarter. On first down, Stafford here. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route, complete. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
From just across the midfield stripe, here's 2nd and a yard.
Off of play action, here's Stafford. He'll get this one to Kupp, complete.
And Kupp going to pick up a Rams first down as he'll get this down to the 41.
It's a gain of 8, and it'll wind up moving the chains. He gets this into the hands of Kupp once again. And he is going to lose yardage here. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's 2nd down.
Well, plays like that, Charles, no doubt, they're just going to continue to fuel this crowd.
And this defense is already playing well, but it also feeds on the energy of that crowd that you're talking about, and that takes them up to another level. Right now, they're playing really loose. They've got the lead, and what a nice stop they just made there behind the line of scrimmage.
You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
The Rams on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Throwing again is Stafford.
That one behind his receiver and incomplete.
The touch and timing are critical for them.
On 4th down, they're going for it. They snap it to Stafford.
Pass taken in by his big tight end.
And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down.
So they get the conversion on 4th, and now from the 25, they operate with a 1st and 10.
Now Stafford. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Touchdown, Rams. 25 yards for the touchdown.
And the Rams have made it a one-score game again here in the 4th.
So they get the score, partner. Game's not over, but they still need some help here.
Agreed. They definitely need some help, but they took care of the first part by scoring themselves.
Point after here coming up. It's up and good. This becomes a 21-14 ball game now. That time a 9-play drive. And the result for the Rams, a touchdown. Of course, you got to remember, last possession they fumbled. It led to a touchdown. One-score game here. Got to be careful.
And this is where coaching and training really comes into play, doesn't it? What does everyone say after an error? Next play, move on, next drive. That mantra has to come to the front. They've got to take care of business right here and act like the last series just didn't happen.
First down, Prescott. A dump off to Elliott. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. So give him 2 yards there on the completion, and that'll make it 2nd down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Prescott now on 2nd down. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Ferguson. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
So the PI decline, and that'll give him a fresh set of downs.
And when you scout tight ends, one thing you want to know, just how strong they are. And we saw it in evidence there. He was able to fight through all the contact and still secure the football.
They'll try and run some clock now with Elliott. And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Ram territory.
90 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before.
Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. 20. And he will bring it back. It's an interception return for a Rams touchdown.
An excellent play there, CD, on the pick six. And I think were they a nickel? Did they have an extra DB out there?
Yeah, Brandon, I think they were in standard nickel, not the Buffalo, as teams like to call it, meaning 3 safeties for big nickel. They just wanted to take away the quarterback's throwing lanes, and that's exactly what they did and came through with a big-time pick six.
Dallas offense set for this next drive. They will look to flush the memory of that pick six as we now have a brand new tie ball game here in the 4th quarter, getting down to the good stuff.
So Prescott of the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 22. After the pick six, they go right back to the air.
A short one there taken in by Ferguson.
So the completion good for 6 yards, and that will bring up 2nd down.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because He really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred the defense.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Getting down to the good stuff, all tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got it 1st and 10 as they search for a go-ahead score. Meanwhile, Dak's throw taken in there by Cooks. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
To throw, Prescott. That is caught by Lamb. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20.
And this is obviously a spot where you lean on your stars. Get the ball to them in open space and let them do what they do.
Plenty of time. All 3 timeouts still remain. Here's 1st and 10 now. They'll try the right side with Elliott. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 1:06 left to go in the game. Now 1st and goal. Now Elliott. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott, an 8-yard touchdown run. And the Cowboys answer back with a touchdown of their own to break our tie and take the lead here in the 4th. Some good running there at the end of the drive. He had the burst that set up the 1st and goal, and then one play later, he's in the end zone.
Brandon, what I liked about that sequence is...
Rams down 28-21, 57 seconds to go. How will this thing pan out? We'll watch as they come up on 1st down. Stafford now to throw. And that's caught inside the 30. And yes, he's into the end zone. So they get the late score they needed. And now the extra point can tie this thing up in the final minute.
The receivers have been running them ragged. Maybe some tired legs in the secondary, maybe some tired legs in the pass rush. Didn't get to him. And look what resulted. A touchdown, tie game. They've got a chance to take the lead.
Got the chance to win the game. You'd have to think they need to get it near the opposite 40 to have a chance to kick a game-winning field goal. We'll see what they can do.
And you're right about that, because if we look at it in macro, that's what it looks like. But I think in micro, the head coach has already asked the special teams coach, what is he feeling? What does he think? Where does he want the football? What's the yard line we have to get? And he's already relayed that to his quarterback and his offense. They know what the goal is. Now the key, can they get there?
They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 seconds to go in half number 2. Now 2nd and 4. Now Prescott. To the sideline and incomplete.
Now we're in the situation where the quarterback's got to take full charge of his huddle. Got to totally command it, make sure all eyes are on him. All focus is locked in. Going to call multiple plays and go over different situations and scenarios to make sure everyone is on the same page.
Well, here's a big one. You can just feel it. This is 3rd down now.
They go back to Elliott. He's been busy. And he won't get to the marker. He's a yard short. A pickup of 3. It leaves him with 4th and 1.
And I believe the referee's been buzzed. Yeah, they want to take another look at this call, and it's certainly a big one here late in a tight game. The thing that they'll be looking at is a spot of the football, and this is always such a tough one for officials to get exactly right.
Not just because of how fast the game's going, but just trying to get the right sight line to the football. That's not always easy. We'll see what they decide here.
So the officials and the folks in New York got a second look at this one, and the call is going to be overturned. 2 timeouts still in their back pocket. It's 1st and 10. Here's Prescott.
He finds his man complete. That's Ferguson. The Cowboys going to use their 2nd timeout now as they stop it with 22 ticks to go in the 4th.
Here's 1st and 10. Prescott.
And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a halt. And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left.
Let's get some roll. Bring it. Oh, wait, if nobody else can make it, you make the push. Let's hit it.
And now it all rests on the right foot of their kicker. The Rams going to be forced to use their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. So on is their kicker, and it's down to this. This from Tom Dempsey range here. And that is no good. Oh, he missed it just wide of the upright, and a costly one there as this game remains tied here in the 4th.
Boy, that's a big-time letdown there. You work yourself in position to win the game, but the kick winds up no good. And now you've got to regroup as a team, get the energy back up, and get ready for overtime. And make sure you pump him up, too. He may be needed to try and win it again later.
Now Stafford. Here we go. This to avoid overtime. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. So 4 quarters wasn't enough, and we are off to overtime. Don't change that dime.
With you on that. I think at this stage, they'd love to not run him back out there in a tough situation. But let's face it, they may have to. So right now, the head coach is talking to the offense coordinator and saying, call this game like we're going to put it in the end zone. Let's try and take the field goal out of it.
They start on the ground with Elliott. And he'll run straight into a wall. Here comes the first throw in OT for Prescott. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Elliott. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack is a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Cowboys first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field, and here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
A first down throw for Prescott. And he's got his man on the out route. And he goes out of bounds, it looks like right at the 50. That'll give him 8 that time, and it'll be second and a couple.
What I love about watching the passing game nowadays is that the one-dimensional receiver is really starting to leave the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you got to run fast. Of course, you got to catch the ball. But route running savvy and toughness, there's a premium for all of that now.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
In the game, and how many times have we seen a good running back get stopped, yet turn it into something big on a later carry? I'd stay with him.
And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Rams 40. It's a gain of 12, and the Cowboys pick up the first. Charles, you get into these overtime situations, that's not a bad guy to dial into.
Well, when you have to have plays, especially in a spot as you just described, we're in OT, you've got to go to the guys you can trust and you know are going to make the plays. Well, they say it's not the X's and the O's, it's the Jimmies and the Joes.
Yeah, that's just a solid good
play.
From the 31, here comes second and a yard. Here's Prescott. And that's complete to Cooks. Well, they just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there. Shaping up to be a very efficient opening drive here in overtime.
And can you feel the tension building? Because I'm feeling it. All right, I've got the sweaty palms here with each play because of the enormity of what's going on. Each play means so much in overtime, and they're handling it well as this drive continues.
Over the middle, complete. It's Ferguson. And able to get him down, but he does reach the fight.
Otherwise, this thing is done. Win your individual battle within the framework of the team defense. Beat that guy across from you and make a play. I expect him.
Oh, and it's intercepted. And the Rams are going to have it with a chance to win the game here in overtime. Boy, that one hurt, CD. They were in field goal range. They wanted that touchdown, understandably, but now a field goal on the other side would beat them.
Man, when you get the ball first in overtime, you're thinking to yourself, nothing less than a field goal, but you really want the touchdown. You don't want to put the onus on your defense to try and hold. In this case, they put it on them anyway, but at least they were aggressive, trying to get the score that would have ended the game.
The LA offense ready to go for their next drive. Now, their defense, they did the important thing. They got the stop. They didn't allow a point, but now they're backed up here pretty far, Charles. Going to need a significant drive to try to get into position for the game-winning field goal.
Yeah, partner, don't you think that defense is on the sidelines right now saying, don't come to us with your problems about where you're starting. We did the important part. We kept them off the board, kept us in the ball game. Find a way to maneuver it downfield, at least get into field goal range, and get us a win.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 15.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
Good yardage there on first down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your second down play.
From the 23, here's second down at a yard.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. Good push up front and that run in between the tackles.
Let's play the leverage game here. Offensive line just got lower than the defensive front, and they were able to get their pads on them and move them backwards and create space for their running back to roam.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now Stafford with his first throw of OT.
Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete. Now a 2nd and 10.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry.
And that will get him another first down, but the...
A quick throw out wide, caught by Robinson. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. 15 yards there for number 15.
Partner, this is a pretty good drive they're putting together, and I know if I'm on the other sideline, that offense, kind of helpless, isn't it? Because they may not touch the football at all, because if they go down and score a touchdown, this thing's over.
At the 41. To throw is Stafford. Short throw, it's Higbee. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and that's going to bring up 2nd down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Here's 2nd and 5 now from the 37. From the gun, he'll hand this off.
Powerful running, and he'll get 3 down to the 34-yard line. They've had some success here in overtime in this opening drive running the football. Right back to that well.
And why not? When you have that kind of success, make them stop you, and until they do, keep going back to that well you just spoke about. I think there's more water there and available to them.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And this is not going to be enough. Was in search of 2 yards and only got halfway there.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
A big call here in overtime. They're going for it on 4th down. Here we go on 4th. Stafford. Now a loose football. The ball comes out. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. And a costly mistake. Coaches talk so much about ball security, and in overtime, so paramount.
Partner, do you ever wonder if maybe they talk about it too much?
Too much, yeah.
Doesn't seem like you can, but maybe by discussing it time.
Out set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
And the last time out, they had the good drive going. You get in the red zone, they throw the interception. Not their first pick of the game either, so we'll see if they're more careful, more cautious here on this drive.
Board. I just heard a fan scream out. I thought the idea was to score points. Yeah, they're getting a little restless too.
From the pistol, here's Elliott. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. They go backwards there 2 yards, and 2nd and 1 is now 3rd and 3.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
They'll come up now 3rd and 3.
They'll try and run for it with Elliott. Ezekiel Elliott going to take it the distance. And he's going to get this one all the way down to the rim. So on is their kicker, and it's down to this. This to win it in overtime. And he got it. The kick is good. And they have won it here in double overtime.
A couple more minutes, and maybe the outcome of this one, Charles, would have been different, but ultimately time runs out on the comeback, so it falls short, and they hold on to win this by just one possession.
Not the fourth quarter they wanted, but they did earn the win, and they'll be happy about that, and they should be. Now they're going to go back to practice, see what they can do to prevent a future lead from slipping away like this one was.